I just want to appreciate something. I'm sitting here appreciating it on my own, but I want to make a little video. My job, I don't see people face to face. It's all over the phone. So I never see anybody. And I speak to thousands of people a week. Hundreds and thousands. And I've got some regulars that call, and they're usually elderly, and they will call most days, most weeks, depending on what they want. And this week in particular has been absolutely lovely, more lovely than any other week, because this year's been really difficult for everybody. Everyone's been on edge. There's been lack of patience, no gratitude. There's been a lot of entitlement and people shouting and projecting and wanting you to take the brunt of it because you're on the other end of the phone. And people forget that the person that they're talking to is another person, and we all live on this planet together, and we're all dealing with the same crap together. So this week has been really nice. I've had some of my regulars come through, and sometimes it's difficult for me to remember everybody because I talk to so many people. But you do get your regulars, and you remember the names, and I never get to see them, and they never get to see me, and we live miles away from each other. It's not like me being in my local pub serving my regulars. I love that. I did 5 years worth of that. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Sundays with old blokes coming in doing horse racing and watching and putting the bets on. I could get emotional about that. I loved those times. They were my favourite times. But this week in particular, I've had a set of, and they're all from different places, so none of them know each other. None of us have ever seen each other. They're not friends or anything like that. They're just people that call in. A set of ladies, elderly ladies, and some of them are really disabled, really struggling, blind, can't walk, that type of thing. And they've called this week to do the usual stuff. And they've been so happy to hear me on the phone, and they've said to me that they're dead happy that they've come through to me, and they love coming through to me and having a good chat with me, because it's like talking to a normal person in a world where everything's gone to pot. And it makes them feel nice and happy because I give them the time just to have a little mini chat, to do my job and have a little chat with them and be happy and pleasant, and have a laugh. And these people probably don't get to talk to people too often because they might be stuck in their houses all the time. I don't know their circumstances, but I can't imagine when you're elderly you do as much socialising as you would probably like if you're a social person. And they've said to me this week that they've been so happy and that I'm the favourite, and they love coming through to me, and I make the day. I could have cried all week just from that. That makes me so happy that, I just make somebody's day by being me, and me just having a chat with, and I like them as well, They're really lovely. They really are. They're lovely, lovely people. And they've all wished me. I've had a week of them wishing me Merry Christmas and wishing me well and having a good weekend. And bro, you don't get that nowadays at all. They're a dying breed, honest to God. And it's been so nice. There's parts of my job when you listen. If you work with people, you are gonna have times where you are working with really upset people, and sometimes it can grind you down. I suppose any job can grind you down, but people can be particularly mean to each other, you know. And sometimes it can get you down, of course it can. You know, you're working on an inanimate object like a washer or building cupboards or whatever. It's just objects that can't do anything to you, but the people can. And sometimes it can get really hard. And do you know what? There are days where you just don't want to deal with people anymore, until you get a week like I've just had with 80-plus-year-old ladies absolutely chuffed to hear me, and we've had a right good chat and natter whilst obviously I still have to keep to my targets. Every job has targets, but I've had a right good natter with them. And it's a bit like having pen pals that you didn't pick. Do you know what I mean? You just happenstance on each other, if you know what I mean. And the irony of it is that we would never speak if they didn't need me to do the job, you know. And the sad part is that someday I won't be needed to do that job for whatever reason, you know. And then that contact stops. But for now, it's lovely. And they say Merry Christmas and have a good weekend. And I sit there and I have to hold myself because I'm on a call. And I say, you're going to make me cry. Don't be doing stuff like that. And I say, thank you very much. I say, wish you well too. Have a lovely time. Stay safe. Don't be getting too tipsy off your sherries and your brandies and your gins. They're all top shelfers. They're all top shelfers. I'm a top shelfer. Not anymore. At heart, still big problem with top shelf. Doing very well staying off top shelf. But yeah, they're lovely. They're lovely. They're the type of people you could sit and just have a bit of cake, a cup of tea, a gin, a natter, you know. Talk about the day. Talk about how nice it is outside or how cold it is and how wet it is, because Englanders always talk about the weather. Yeah, it's been such a nice week and I'm feeling very grateful for those people, and I have no idea who they are, but they made me feel very happy. It's times like that that make it worth being alive. Do you know what I mean? Appreciation goes a long way. You can tell they genuinely like you, you know, and they wish you well. And they would probably do a whole lot more if they could, if a job wasn't in between us. Do you know what I mean? And the same back as well, I would for them as well. I wish there were more people like that in the world. I wish there was more occasions like that, opportunities, scenarios where people were just pretty sodding nice to each other. You know? Christmas is always an excuse to be nice to each other because everyone's feeling super, super happy and probably a bit tipsy. But, you know, Englanders are dead good at fucking moaning. We're always good at moaning and taking the piss out of stuff. Not too good at appreciating. Not too good at the soppy, nice stuff. I think we need to get better at that. I think everyone should be getting better at that. It changes a person for the good when you appreciate someone and you're nice to someone and you tell them. I always make a point. As much as I make a point of saying what the problem is, you know, and saying that bro, sort it. You know, that's a problem. Either you sort it or I'm piddling off because I can't be around that. As much as I do that, I also, if someone's lovely or they've done something good or they've made me happy or I don't know, I love how they look today. I love their hair. I love those clothes. I love those shoes. Whatever you're wearing, you smell good. You know, not that I'm going around sniffing you. You just happen to waft upon me. But you know what I'm getting at. That is really important, just to say these nice little things to people. It can make a person's day. It can make a person's day. And honestly, it made my day. I hope everyone has that. And that's what I want. They always say have a wish at Christmas and what have yous. You know, going into the new year and all that. Not necessarily New Year resolution or anything like that, but they will say a wish. You can have a Christmas wish. I would wish that everybody did that more for each other everywhere. That's what I'd wish. Bro, I want everyone in the fields feeling all gooey and happy. That's what I want. Because it's lovely. Lovely. I want to shut up now, but I just need to appreciate those people that did that for me this week because it was so nice. And I appreciate them as well. You know, I appreciate them. I don't ever want them to stop coming through to me. I'd have them every day, all day. I won't share them with nobody. But I'm not allowed to hog customers. Yeah, more of that.